Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Today in Lost Ark, we're going to be going over every class, taking a quick look at the generals of their abilities, and having a quick tier list, mainly for the PvE of the game, as PvP tier lists will probably change around for a little bit once people start leveling up, because, yeah, meta changes pretty fast. So let's take a look at all the classes and have a little tier list. It's important to note though that you should really just play whatever you want. This is an active developed game, things will change around constantly, so tier lists will also change around constantly. So let's keep that in mind. All of the classes you see here aren't really as relevant. It's just like the main class just gives you an idea of how their gameplay will be, and then the advanced class is really the true class, right? Here you have bards, sorceress. It's weird for people to say, yes, I have a mage bard or mage sorceress, right? They would just say you have a bard or sorceress, so I just thought it was kind of funny how Lost Ark does their initial leveling, because you instantly start off at level 10 and get your advanced class, so I just thought it was a little odd it went this way, but people are, I believe, more familiar with just these types of terms, so that is probably why they did that. So let's take a look first at Warrior. First, you have the Berserker. So as you can see, this class is a big blade wielding badass. You're going to have just a flurry of attacks, okay? I believe this will be straight up melee DPS, right? Not going to be a tank on this one. You're going straight for damage. So I would rate this class overall like A+, right? They're really strong, and if you like the abilities, and if you find them satisfying, yeah, you should definitely go with the Berserker. I myself, you know, picked my favorite, and I'll say which one that is when we get there, but I would say all of the classes in this game do look really cool, so you should really just, again, pick whatever you want. Next, we have a Gunlancer. So as you can see, the Gunlancer's running a weapon Gunlance, right, and a shield. Gunlancer, I believe, is stacked as a tank DPS, because let's be honest here, everything does a little bit of DPS in my mind, but he is a tank primarily, right? So keep that in mind. Good class for sure, right? Everyone loves it. It'll be great for raids endgame, 100%. Meshes really well with every team, right? Because he's just such a, let's just say, the best tank in the game, right? This game isn't, to my knowledge, super tank heavy. It's mainly with a lot of DPS and DPS type support, range supports. So I would say Gunlancer's the best type of tank there is on release. So I'd give that one an S tier, if you will. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Next, we have a Paladin. So Paladins, I believe, are considered like support, like melee tank support more so, right? They wouldn't be considered a straight DPS whatsoever, but of course everything in the game does do good DPS. Hey, if you want to run the role of a melee support tank in a sense, yeah, definitely want to run Paladin. Paladin is still very fun and has really good abilities, and again, everything's still going to be doing good damage in this game, okay? Everything's strong in Lost Ark. I do not want you to think otherwise. This game's really fun and actually very well balanced, like all things considered. So keep that in mind. Next, we have mages, and oh yes, we have the bard to start off. No shock, bards count as range support, and they look like they shoot just arrows from their like bard weapon, okay? They look like they're shooting arrows. Look at that. Really great class, really great support, right? I would say they're probably like A+ S tier support without a doubt. You'll be able to just do a lot with Bard, right? Great utility. Again, everything can run the game solo. With a Bard, you'll be buffing everyone up in the end game raids more so, right? Because the great part about the classes really takes place when you start doing end game, and you know, naturally that's how it always goes. So yeah, Bard's great, good support, good damage when you're doing solo when you build it like that. Of course, you always swap your builds around for what you need to do, so 10 out of 10 would recommend. Next, we have Sorceress. Oh god, Sorceress actually, in my opinion, looks really great too. If you like just big spells and flashy art, I'm gonna straight up give her S tier, right? As you can see, the skills of a sorcerer honestly, are some of the most beautiful in the game. IMO, okay? Of course, you have your own opinion, everyone has their own opinion, but I think her abilities are really beautiful, and no shock, she will do so much damage. So I would rate her just straight up like S+, especially on the visuals of that, but no, her damage is insane, so always a great class IMO. Oh yes, we have female martial artists. So female and male martial artists and other classes, gunner, male, female, right? They'll have different classes overall. So we have Wardancer, Scrapper, Soulfist. Here we have Striker. For gunner male, we have Sharpshooter, Deadeye, Artilerist, and for female, you have Gunslinger. Yeah, so martial artist males get a little screwed over on the amount of classes, and gunner females. And then for assassins, we'll just go over it. You have Deathblade and Shadowhunter. So let's take a look at the female martial artists. You have Wardancer here, and as always, just pick it if you want it, right? More so, I would say the class depends on if you like their style of play and their gameplay style. I'm not a huge fan of the Wardancer myself, but melee DPS for Wardancer is still very good and combos really well. So if you like a class that combos abilities really well together, yeah, it'd probably be a good idea to pick this one. I feel like it's really hard to play though, so I'm gonna give it like a B+ rating, right? Not quite A, because it'll be hard for a lot of people to pull off, but if you can pull this class off well, yeah, you'll definitely be in a good spot. Next, we have a Scrapper. So this is melee bruiser type, right? Melee DPS tank, off tank, if you will. I don't know how people technically categorize things in this game. So the Scrapper overall, I would say, is also really cool and really fun. It's an easier class to play than the Wardancer overall, with big showy abilities that seem to do a good chunk of damage. So I would say this one, yeah, probably a B tier to B+. Still very good and does a lot of damage, but I think the overall flow of the abilities, I just don't like it as much. Still though, if you do pick it, still a very good class, right? Okay, the next class we have is Soulfist, just straight up melee DPS, showy as well, and overall fast and a lot of attacks per second, right? Like with this class, you're gonna be hitting a lot of individual different abilities, as you can see. Probably gonna be a little harder to pull off, but the overall DPS is great on this character. Also, as always, very showy when you get to like the end of the Soulfist abilities. They really are a melee type martial arts mage, and it just looks really cool. I want to really get through all of Soulfist's abilities because I myself just think they're really interesting looking, especially when you get to this one. What in God's name is happening here, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a very interesting class, and I'll probably make this one of my alts pretty quickly because it looks like a lot of fun. But I would say Soulfist is definitely A to A. No, you know what? A+ S tier, okay? Soulfist, great. Now we have the Striker, straight up melee damage. So overall, the Striker's good. It's, you know, a good combo class if you like that sort of thing as well. The DPS on it is a little weird because if you mess up your combo, right, it can get a little annoying. Look at those sweet damages. But overall, I don't think the damage on this one's like the highest overall out of all of the other classes. In this game, I'm not gonna really say anything's tiered too low, but I would say Striker's probably tiered at like just a general B to B+, right? Yeah, still strong and cool and showy overall. Pick it if you want, pick it if you don't want, but it's not my style of class at all. For gunners, male, we have the Sharpshooter. Okay, so there's actually a lot of shooting classes in this game. I don't think the Sharpshooter is overall good, I'm not gonna lie. It's a ranged, like very noticeably stay away at a ranged, low paced, kind of whatever damage DPS class. I think a lot of people kind of hate Sharpshooter, both gameplay style and damage style, like amount. Overall, I would say this is one of the more meh classes, so I'll give it like a B-. It's still naturally a little showy with abilities and grand abilities like that, but yeah, the damage I just wouldn't recommend myself one of the less liked one, but of course, if you like its abilities, go for it. So next class we have Deadeye. Hey, if you like a class that has dual pistols and a bigger rifle, like it has a lot of different types of weapons, right? You'll probably like this class. Combos look pretty cool. It's a short range, medium range, melee, or sorry, DPS, not melee. What the hell's wrong with me? So keep that in mind. You're not going to be staying like incredibly long range a lot of the time. It's more so medium range, but overall pretty cool class. This and Sharpshooter, I think a lot of people they're like some of the lower tier classes in their minds, so this and Sharpshooter are both like kind of B minuses in my eyes, right? Maybe like C pluses. They're both pretty cool and like good if you like them, but the overall sentiment is they're not the best, right? And let's be real here, I don't think a ton of people are going to be choosing shooting classes like this, but hey, I guess we'll have to wait and see for release numbers. Okay, here we have the Artilerist. Okay, I probably messed that up. This is like the heavy of the range damage classes, okay? So if you're playing TF, like Team Fortress 2, yeah, this is the heavy. Big, massive guns, weapons, rockets, explosives, right? Look at this one. This one, overall, I would rate it higher than these two, okay? Definitely give this B or B+, right? It is a strong class with good, interesting, and very impactful feeling abilities. So yeah, I would definitely choose this one if you're interested in it. I don't know how many people are going to be choosing overall the gunner classes, but hey, it's worth note that they are pretty cool. And the only gunner female class is the Gunslinger. IMO Gunslinger is the female Sharpshooter. They're, I don't know if you can tell, pretty much similar. They share a lot of abilities in a sense, so Gunslinger and the Sharpshooter, very similar. Well, actually, Deadeye more so, I should say. But they're very similar classes overall. Gunslinger, though, probably going to be everyone's favorite. Let's be honest, and it is one of the stronger, actually, hilariously enough, overall gunner classes. So this one just gets an A minus, if you will. But the abilities, as you can see, probably a little more fun. I think in a game like this, though, you should always, and I'm going to be shoving this point down your throat, just pick whichever class you want. But yeah, no, her damage numbers are better overall than the other gunners, and her combos and abilities, IMO, like this, right? Yeah, a little better. And then there's that. Yeah, Gunner's very interesting compared to the other ones, so I would choose this one over them, unless you like the other ones more. Haha. Last but not least, yeah, we have the Assassin class. Starting off, we have the Deathblade. So, Deathblade overall is considered just S tier, right? High damage, good combos. As you can see, you get a lot of movement on as well. The idea behind the Deathblade is, you know, high melee DPS, do damage, backstab, do what you need to do, combo, and jump around the map way more than a lot of other classes. So that's a very interesting setup and abilities. So hey, I would go for a Deathblade if you want, okay? I myself did go Assassin, but I myself went Shadowhunter. Still, go Deathblade if you like the class, because let's be honest, they're all hella cool, and Deathblade's like S tier. So, last but not least, we have Shadowhunter. So, I myself love Shadowhunter. I like the dual big, massive blades. The comboing with Shadowhunter right now, I'm having a lot of fun with. Pulling enemies in to just absolutely destroy, stun, push them away to just murder them all. Like every other class, has a lot of combos, but I picked Shadowhunter mainly for her Shadow Fury mode here. I'm having a lot of fun with the class. It might not be considered as high damage and as good as a Deathblade. I think Shadowhunter would more so be like A+ tier, but as always, you gotta pick what you love, right? So this will be my main. If you see me, I'll be on Invisca on, I think that's US, or like NA West, I'm in Canada, so yeah, apparently a lot of other people swapped to Invisca. I'm a little sad about that, because now it's going to be a busier server, but hey, that's okay. I got my characters down, so guys, if you liked the video, I would appreciate it if you were to like, comment, let me know which classes you picked and what you think of it. I do have timestamps in the description. I'll keep in mind to do that while I edit this, so yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.